So today we are joined by Sudhendra, and we both were talking about a topic where how do you help job seekers, especially freshers, decide which option to choose if they have an opening in a startup or if they have an opening in MNC, which one they should go for. Because every fresher, when he starts looking for a job, is looking out for a dream career. He wants to build a career. And the first job that he picks up can actually decide the next 10 years of his career trajectory. Now, if he starts in a good company, then I think it is easy for him to ensure that his growth skyrockets, he's on the right track. But if he picks up the wrong first job, then it is likely that he will get stuck, underpaid, and he will be confused. So he might lose some valuable years of his initial career. So now, between me and Sudhendra, we want to break down the brutality honestly, and based on our experience, we want to share our inputs with all the viewers who are watching this video so that it will help them decide between which option to pick for, which option is good, what are the downside of it, and how should they navigate through it. So thank you, Sudhendra. And this is a topic I had been listening to not only candidates but also their parents in terms of telling that okay, which option do you think is good for them? Because when you come across friends, they know that okay, you've been working for a corporate, and they have their children who are just finishing studies and are going to start a job. And this is a question which a lot of times people ask me that okay, do you think my son or daughter should be taking up this option, or should she wait out and gun for a big corporate? So, since you have more experience in startups, you have actually been instrumental in a lot of startups starting their business, and you've been with them right from the time they initiated their business plans. I thought it would be good to pick your mind and understand what do you really get in a startup.
Yes, Shashi, I think this is a great pointer to talk about, right? Once there's still that little stigma in the minds of a lot of parents saying, I want my child to be in an MNC where they get a steady job, the salaries are on time. Startups, we've seen the startup boom in the country in the last 8-10 years. So the number of jobs available have shot up drastically, right? And every qualified person, I mean, yes, I agree that the number of students who are coming out, passing out every year, and the number of jobs are available, maybe there's a slight gap, but the good ones tend to get a job in most cases. And the best part is, since I've spent a lot of time in startups myself, right from day one in a couple of cases, right? So I've seen the growth, I've seen my personal growth, I've seen the company's growth, and I've seen the contribution that I have made myself and the kind of satisfaction that I get seeing that, okay, my work has contributed to the company's growth. That's a great high to have. I mean, later on in your career, it really doesn't matter whether you're in a startup or in a kind of MNC settle down place or a big corporate, right? But this few years of experience in a startup helps you from a mindset perspective, because number one, what I feel is when you're in a startup, you're not just exposed to the function that you're supposed to be doing, right? The JD is one thing that you get while you're applying for a job. But at the end of the day, when you enter into the system, you are exposed to so many things, because number one, most startups are small teams. Your access to the other teams is so much that even during unofficial hours, right, you go for a tea break, you have a lunch break, sometimes you have post office dinners, you end up talking so much that you know what each other is doing, right? So
True.
that helps you understand your own JD much better. So I mean, typically what happens in an MNC is what I've seen. Okay, you are given a certain JD, and your exposure to say, I mean, I've been a salesperson, right? So
Yeah.
in a startup, I had the ability to talk to the operations people to understand what their challenges are,
True.
right? So in case I had to modify my pitch a bit to ensure that, okay, I am considering these challenges in the operation setup, I will modify my pitch accordingly. I will tell my clients that, okay, these are the challenges that might happen, and I'll take care of it. Don't worry. Right, but in an MNC, I feel that sometimes, or in most of the cases, since you are so point blank in your approach, right, that could be missing, right? So that's one thing. And even the ease of access to the founders, you can pick their brains when they have the time, right from why the startup idea started, how they actually got the funds to do it. Are they looking for investors? Are they looking for VCs? What is their pitch deck? How do they formulate a pitch deck? How do they make their 5-year plans? If you're curious enough, these are things that you'll know very early in your career. And doesn't really, I mean, what I've personally seen is a lot of people who have been in startups have gone ahead and started their own startups after a couple of years.
Yeah, yeah.
And we don't see that happening at the MNC level, because I think they're more at a comfortable level saying, okay, I'm getting my salaries, I'm getting my perks, my taxes are being taken care of. I don't need to look at anything. My gratuity is taken care of. I have my health benefits. All my benefits are set. So it's a comfortable space to be in, no doubt. But startup is a hustle. And personally, I've seen that there are no particular timings as such. You're sometimes on calls at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Sometimes your work starts at 7 p.m. It ends at 7 a.m. You work all nights, depending on what kind of sector you're in, IT or you're in marketing or any others. And it's a great learning experience, but at the same time, it can bog you down with the pressures.
True.
So mentally fit people who are keen to take on that challenge, saying that, fair, I want to learn. That is the set of people who are ready for a startup job. And that's completely from personal experience. I've been in 6 or 7 startups till date.
Okay.
Right. And every time it's more or less been the same experience. Every time I've changed the industry slightly, I've got to know so many things and so many people at the same time.
True.
Right.
So
So
I
the learning,
think,
yeah.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So the learning curve has been amazing. I'm a non-tech guy, right? Personally, I come from a BSc genetics and an MBA background. But because of my interaction with the operations, with the tech, I've learned so many things over a period of time about tech as well. That I might be able to have a passable conversation in an AI or a programmatic or a tech platform myself. That is purely because of my exposure to startups.
Sure. So I think we can summarize by saying that if you join a startup, the speed at which you're going to learn, not just about your role, your department, your division, but about all other departments and role that exists in the organization, is very good, and it happens at a very fast pace. And more often than not, it's not just theory, it is practical. That means in a startup, you don't just stick to your job description. At times, you are made to contribute to other teams and other departments also. So that's one thing. Second thing is, as you said, it is real ownership and real pressure. That means, unlike MNC, where your work, you do not know where it is impacting on the outcome. Here, you can see it immediately. You do good work, it is noticed. You don't do good work, it is noticed immediately.
Yes.
So I think that is the second point. Third thing is, like you said, having access to the founder itself. I think the bureaucracy level and the levels required for an approval or something is very less in a startup, because they are more to do with speed. And I think they don't put too many layers, whether it is for an approval for an idea or for any task. I think it happens very fast. And this freedom actually builds confidence for the new joiner who joins the company. But as you also said, the dark side of this is that not everything that is being given to you is as per JD, okay? Because it's a startup company. Everybody is expected to contribute in every way possible.
Yes.
Long working hours, like you said, sometimes you may have to work overnight itself. And random tasks. It's not that you can say, this is not my job. Exactly. You are a part of a team which is building the organization. So high emotional load. And the biggest problem, which I think where people shy away from startup, is the risk of shutdown. They always think that, okay, whether this business will survive or not, what will happen 6 months down the line, because somewhere down the line, everybody has a mindset of security, job security. And that I think is unseen. So that would be the summary for what you really get in a startup.
True. I agree that job security part is the scariest part. Believe me, I've been through them. A decent amount of them have been successful, but I have faced, or rather, I've been in startups where the company was on the verge of shutdown. Loss of job, what next? That's the biggest question on the mind. Probably in the beginning of your career, if you're 2-3 years of experience, or maybe 1 year or 2 years, getting another job is not too tough.
True.
But if you join a startup in the later stages of your career, that could be something that you need to seriously think about.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing it yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And like you said, right, the amount of learning that you get is crazy learning, and in some cases, I've seen that it could lead to a lot of confusion as well.
True.
Matlab, you are there for a particular job, and I've seen people who have started to dislike what they've been appointed for, and they've started to like something else that probably another team is doing. It's
Yeah.
happened multiple times. I've seen
Yeah.
people move from sales to operations because
Yes.
they enjoy doing that more, and they've built their careers in that.
True.
It's
Yeah.
happened.
I agree on that. So, in my view, based on my experience, what somebody can expect from an MNC is that the biggest takeaway for anybody when they join an MNC is a training.
Yes.
That means most of the corporates now have a calendar. That means they have training hours to be completed, where they are not just taught about their job, they are taught about professionalism, they are taught about a lot of soft skills, tools, systems, and everything. Startups may not have time. I'm not saying startups don't do, but they may not have that kind of time to invest or wait for an employee to get trained and then start performing. So I'm not saying no startup will have it, but very few startup can afford, not in terms of finances, but time to be given.
True. It's not structured.
Yeah, structured, exactly. Like number of learning hours. I think it will be too early for a startup to actually plan in the initial stages that this many learning hours, because the whole organization itself is learning about the business.
Yes, exactly.
So it will be difficult. But second thing that advantage candidates will have in joining a MNC is that there is a clear hierarchy and clear JD.
Yes.
The good thing is that they know what is expected of them. At the year end, what will they be assessed on what basis their performance will be assessed, and what will be the outcome of the appraisal system, whatever is done. So that's one good thing. Hierarchy wise also, it's very clear that not anybody and everybody can come and give them any work, which can happen in a startup actually. Here is more of hierarchy, that you have a boss, the boss will assign you work, and nobody else can come and directly assign you work. So that's one good thing. Third thing is a big brand advantage. That means if you're joining a corporate and if you're joining a big MNC, and if you're able to stick there for a couple of years, that brand name on your resume can open a lot of doors for you in future. You become a hot product for recruiters. So that is one good thing. And lastly, I think the chaos that is there in a startup, where not all the systems are in place in everything. In an MNC, you'll find systems in place to an extent that, okay, what you're supposed to do, not supposed to do on a daily basis is there, which can actually get monotonous for certain people. After some time, you start feeling, everything is written, everything is told, there is no excitement, there's no fun there. So even for fun, they have a calendar. So MNCs operate that way. They are very structured. And the good thing is, they have internal mobility options that you can move laterally in the organization, but more or less it's little rigid, and people who are very enthusiastic and energetic might find it a little boring after some time.
Yes.
So that is what is my take on what you really get in an MNC. Anything else that you want to add on?
Right. I think the learning curve in an MNC is pretty slow.
True.
Right. Because obviously your JDs are limited. The amount of ideation, I mean, basically your ideas going to the top, there's a hierarchy. And because there is hierarchy, there is a little bit of ego as well. In some cases, I don't say that's the same case with every organization, but from vastly what I've seen from friends and family, right? Even if you have the greatest of ideas, for it to go to the top and reach the right ears, it does not most of the cases. And where it does, it takes a lot of time. So basically, getting recognition in an MNC out of, say, a 10,000 employee workforce is time taking. But at the same time, in a startup, if you do something really good, your appreciation is, it sounds really good, and it travels throughout the company very quick.
Yeah.
So people come and talk to you about it. In an MNC, that's usually missing. And yes, like you said, job security, definitely, right? But again, there's one challenge that I've seen of people moving from a startup to an MNC or vice versa. There's a huge culture change that they have to accept.
Yeah, you might actually feel in an MNC that you're a very small fish in a big ocean.
True.
And your work that you do, maybe you cannot see any direct impact on the company's results or something,
right,
which in MNC is far more. So I agree with you. It can feel a little slow. It can be boring in MNC at times. And I agree. So what are the mistakes that you think, because you have seen a lot of people joining and moving on to different teams and startups itself, do you think there are some mistakes people do? Because I'm sure a lot of people would have joined and left also. Startups may
Yes.
not, everybody has the energy and determination to stay there. Some people might quit very fast.
True.
What are the mistakes do you think people do while choosing between MNC and a startup?
Uh, Number one, right? Especially when you're looking at a startup, you join for the excitement of it, right? Because at least I don't think I should go back 15, 18 years because today, the kind of startup culture that's there, right? You have so many exciting products and services that are coming by, right? When you look at the JD either on LinkedIn or on Naukri or some recruiter contacts you, or you get through a college placement. College placements, anyway, startups are very, very less.
Yes.
You'll have to do that individually. But when you look at the company profile and you see that as a fit, the excitement is amazing. And then you start imagining that, okay, this is how I'm going to contribute. That's the first thing that comes to your mind because number one, you're exposed to so much today. I mean, any student who's passed out in the last couple of years, the amount of YouTube, the amount of Instagram, the amount of content available online, you've read up so much and you know, okay, this is where I can contribute, right? And then when you get into that company, you realize, okay, reality is something entirely different. These are the things these are my fantasies. This is what I want to do. But when it comes to reality, it's an entirely different thing. Yes, you can be heard in a startup. You can pass on your ideas. The hierarchy is lesser. So your idea going to the founder, it might take 2 steps as against 8 or 10 steps in an MNC. But the rejection rates are almost the same, right? Because the founder comes with a mindset saying, this is how I want to build my company. Right, so that culture shock is something that you have to be ready for, and I see a lot of people are not ready for it, right? Because they feel, okay, it's a small team of say 6 or 7 people, and if I put my idea across, it's going to work. Sometimes it may, sometimes it may not.
Okay.
And even if you're a fresher with probably 1-2 experience or even absolute rank freshers, your ideas will always be accepted. They'll be heard.
Yeah.
But whether they'll be implemented or not is one thing. And yes, like you were comparing the fish in the ocean, right? I think the startups are like a small lake and you're the crocodile there, right? You have a lot of power, but you have no idea when the water is going to dry up.
True.
So I think it's just like the stock market, risk and reward.
Yeah.
Right? The higher risk you're ready to take with a startup or multiple startups at the beginning of your career, like I did, it's worked for me. But now I don't feel myself a fit when it comes to a corporate culture. Right? I do not enjoy that. I do not enjoy the hierarchy. I do not enjoy the time frames that are involved for growth. I need quick growth. Right? I mean, let me be frank with you. 2008 to 2010, right? I grew 230% in salary.
Which is not possible in an MNC.
Which is not possible in an MNC.
Yeah.
Right? So I planned basis that. And I've been planning basis that. And in a couple of stages, I've planned ahead. And then I've realized, okay, the startup is going to die.
Yeah.
So all my financial planning has gone for a toss. That has happened as well.
Yeah. So I think what we can say is the mistakes that mostly people do, which I have seen, is that they go purely on the basis of salary at times. Because 2 things, I've seen both the sides. Some startups offer a very high salary compared to a corporate. Because not because they have a lot of money. In fact, they don't have money, but they are in a hurry to attract the best of talent.
Yes.
So they are willing to go the extra mile and pay more. So people who don't have a mindset or temperament for a startup also get lured in and they join. And then they realize that, okay, this money is not there. I have no learning and I can move. So that could be one mistake. Also, one more mistake which everybody does is that they follow friends blindly. That okay, so there is my friend, he joined, he's telling the office is good, there are parties every day, there is no bossism, so I also want to join, and I join. Without realizing that this may not actually be my personality which will suit that organization.
Yes.
Third thing is also linked to this is that they get attracted with a cool office. The startups actually, okay, so if somebody goes to an office, some MNCs which are old and Indian big corporates, may not have the best of offices. Of course, now they have in some cities at least. So when they see a new startup in a very swanky office, they feel that, okay, this is where I want to work. And they join. But after some time, they realize that, okay, office just by itself is not satisfying and they have other problems and pressures. And linked to this is their personality type. See, if you're a person who is more rigid in terms of time limits, the way of working, that you have a particular way of working and you are not flexible enough, you get up at a certain time, you do certain things, then maybe startup may not be a good idea for you, because startup is all about doing things on the fly. I mean,
Yes.
it's like a lot of people tell that, okay, we change the wheel of the car while it's driving. If you have that kind of temperament, I think then startup is good. But otherwise, I think you need to assess your personality and think. But at the end of it, I wouldn't say that startups is not a good option or MNC is a better option. No, it depends on what you want, what your temperament is, also to
Yes.
some extent what your financial capabilities and conditions are. See, like you said, sometimes you got a growth of 230%, but it is possible that otherwise, like you said, that your financial planning went for a toss. Now,
Yes.
a person needs to assess whether what is his financial condition, how, what is his risk appetite, how much risk can he take, and then decide. I think without doing that, that can be a problem. So, any personality type that you think is more suited based on little bit my experience I told, but what personalities do you think are fit for a startup, or what personalities do you think are good for an MNC? So that it will help viewers who are listening
Hmm.
to do a cross check quickly that, okay, maybe I'm suitable for this.
Right. I mean, for startups, it's more like the go-getter thing, right? I want to do this. These are my personal goals, and this is where my personal goals also fit into the company's goals. And these are the short timelines. But at the same time, yes, it doesn't mean that okay, if startups work fast, the results are also quick. There is a certain amount of patience required even from startups, because every startup, no matter what it is, right? Media, software, SaaS, they have their own cycles of sales.
Yeah.
Right. So based on that, it's the patience also that comes in. Somebody who is quick, but also understands, okay, these are the cycles. I mean, basically quick but rooted to reality. Right. You can't live in a fantasy world when you're in a startup. Just because you have some crazy ideas, not everything will fall into place. So that amount of reality check has to be there in the personality for somebody to succeed in a startup, right? And patience is the biggest virtue, right? In an MNC, you might need to have 5 years of patience. I mean, just putting some arbitrary numbers to it. In a startup, you still need to have 6 months of patience. You still need to do that. And just because you're in a startup and you feel things should fly, there have been many cases where people have resigned or given up out of frustration because things haven't moved fast. Right? No matter what you do, whether you're in a startup or an MNC, you are governed by external factors. They play a huge role in the success or in the failure of any organization. Applies to startups. Maybe the timelines and the amount of money at your disposal is shorter, smaller in a startup, but at the same time, I think overall the basic rules are still the same, right? So
So it would be,
personality-wise, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it would be safe to summarize it that if you're a person who loves doing multiple things, if you're
Hmm.
flexible, and if you love problem solving, and you're comfortable with uncertainty, and you're not afraid of work pressure or long working hours or something, and you want fast and aggressive growth, I think MNC startup is good for you.
Hmm.
And on the other hand, if opposite of this is that if you're a person who prefers structure and you prefer stability, the
Right.
job security that we discussed initially, and you know very clearly when your growth is going to happen,
Hmm.
how much time and what you need to do to go to the next level, and you want a perfect work-life balance, that
Yeah.
means not every weekend you are expected to come and
Hmm.
work, not every day you're working late, then MNC is good. Or you're a person who likes everything organized, like I was telling earlier, you like everything organized. There's a time, you
Hmm.
know, this is needs to be done at this time, this much time this work is going to take, and you want to master one skill and you want to be a master in that. You are not looking at learning the whole spectrum. You want to just focus
Right.
on one thing and you want to become an expert. I think then MNC is a very good option for you.
Yes.
So yeah, I think but if you're starting and you're confused
Hmm.
that what I should do, which option I should pick up, and if your risk appetite is not high, that means if you don't have financial backing,
Right.
then I think you should start safe with an MNC and
Yes.
start mastering and grow there.
True.
But if you're hungry, you're restless, and you tend to get impatient if things move slowly, then I think a startup is a better option for you. So,
Uh,
anything else that you want to add?
it can be detrimental also, na, Sashi. In an MNC, as the growth is slow and all that, in a startup, you expect that, okay, I'm going to be exposed to a lot of things,
True.
right? Here, like I said earlier, the confusion also begins.
Yeah.
Am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing?
Hmm.
So there are many chances that you'll be caught in between two places.
Hmm.
You like something, but you're forced to do something else.
True.
And the transition cannot be quick because the startup cannot replace the original JD that you've been hired for, right? So that is when people that's probably one reason why the churn is so much in a startup as compared to an MNC. When MNCs, okay, a big company with 10,000 employees, okay, the churn is probably 500-600 every single month. But in a startup with probably 10, 20, 50 people, that those numbers are not noticed overall.
Yeah.
But the churn is pretty high because of these confusions.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, your learning curve, like we've been talking, right? It's super high. Right?
Yeah. I think one thing I want to surely tell is, so then in the last at least 5-10 years, the number of startups that we have seen are very high, and some have really grown big.
Yes.
So if you have little bit of risk appetite, and if you have little bit of flexibility in you, I think you should pick up a startup, because gone are those days when people used to just think of job security only. Because what startups can offer you today is something that was not available 15-20 years back. Okay. But unfortunately, today also, I see a lot of startups struggling to attract talent. Okay. A lot of people are very skeptical of joining. I didn't hear this company name. Nobody heard it. Should I join? Yeah, I understand the fear when you're looking at that, but I think you should do a little bit of research. You should ask for more information if you want. But don't just strike off startups as a very risky option without even doing any research. Because a lot of people have grown. And I mean, you're there as an example. I've known you for quite some time, so I know your growth also. So I think people should not just write off startup as a risky option. And
it is risky. It is risky, but it's going to reward you as well.
Yeah, but not as risky as it would have been a few years back, because a lot of startups have proved now that they are very successful.
Yes.
So at least now you have little more data than what you had maybe 10 years back. So, Sudhendra, I want you to share about the workshop that you have conducted earlier, and the workshop that you have which can actually help students who are coming out of college to give them more clarity on the options in marketing field, so that any person who is viewing it can actually connect with us, or they can talk to their college and come and connect with us through comments in the video. So little bit, if you can share about the workshop, so then it will help.
Fair. So this workshop is coming out of the observation that a lot of colleges today focus on digital advertising as a career in marketing. Right? So digital marketing is by default a course in a lot of college curriculum today. But what they tend to forget is there's another whole world of offline BTL events, activations, fields where marketing careers have been made over the past few years, and they continue to be made. Right, so this is one area where I think students lack information about what are the career options available to them when it comes to media, advertising, and marketing.
Okay.
Right, because all these three go hand in hand. Media becomes TV, the advertising becomes the brand, and the marketing becomes not just simple ads within a TV slotted time, but also about how you can integrate brands into multiple programs. There's so much of creativity around that today, and not too many people are getting into that field, unfortunately. So this workshop is entitled to give them case studies about the exciting marketing, the BTL marketing activations that have been done in the market, which people are not even probably aware of. So, I mean, just to take them behind the ideation behind the entire thing, how creativity works, how the logistics works, how the execution works, and how there is so much of excitement when a project is successful, and how careers can be made on this side of marketing as well. So it's a 3 to 4 hour workshop which can be split into 2 days or can be done on 1 day. Anybody interested, please do put your contact in the numbers. We'll reach out to you. We'll help you curate something for your college or for probably a group of people as well.
So we are open for both individuals wanting to individuals wanting to go through this workshop, and as well as a college wanting to conduct this workshop for their students. We are open for both.
Open for both. That'll be great if
Okay,
the learning happens. Yes.
great,
We
great.
need more people on offline marketing today.
True, I agree. Also, I think I want to inform the viewers that there are some links in the video of our earlier videos which we have made for freshers and youngsters. I think you should check out those videos. I think if this video helped our viewers, I think they should hit the like button and also let us know in comment if we missed out something or what is their preference in terms of MNC or startup. We would love to hear so that we can make more such videos for them. Thank you, Sudhendra. Thank you for your time. It's always pleasure talking to you.
Always a pleasure.